Today we are saying enough is enough. We are sick and tired as Batsonga Machangani to be judged based on our skin tone.
Thousands of Malawian foreign nationals were moved from the Sherwood Hall grounds to the Durban drive-in site to try and fast-track their processing and repatriations. This raging wave of anti-immigrant sentiment is exposing a leadership vacuum in South Africa and across sub-Saharan Africa. As the June 30th deadline approaches, both African governments whose citizens live in South Africa and the South African government are trying to manage the fallout from the migration crisis. Now, before getting into the entire details, please do well to subscribe to our channel if you are new, and feel free to drop your thoughts on the comment section after watching, and don't forget to turn on our post notifications so you don't miss out on any latest updates. Thank you. The saying, history has no blank pages, aptly applies to the ongoing anti-illegal immigrant sentiments in South Africa. Attacks on immigrants are not new in South Africa. We witnessed violent attacks in 2008 and again in 2015. However, never before have we witnessed such widespread vigilantism, well-organized mobilization, and sustained demands for the deportation of illegal immigrants. This time around, political parties such as Action SA and the Umkhonto we Sizwe MK party are also jumping on the bandwagon. This is because, for the first time since 1994, we could see South Africans vote not based on party loyalty, but on issues such as immigration. The harassment and intimidation to which foreigners have been subjected, particularly around the city of Durban, has never been seen before and is unmatched and unprecedented. Anti-immigrant movements, Operation Dugela, and March blame illegal immigrants for skyrocketing crime, taking jobs away from South Africans, straining public services, and urban decay.
Where we were born and raised here. This is our home. So we don't want...
In recent months, these movements have also accused Somali, Pakistani, and Bangladeshi-owned sponsor shops of selling expired food items, among other things. The idea of US, South Africans, we them, the other or foreigners, has made us forget that all of us are human beings. As each side refuses to listen to the other, we end up not fully understanding what is driving the wedge between us. Unfortunately, what gets lost in the process is the ability to have empathy and compassion for each other as human beings. The solution is there, but no side is willing to blink first. So, what can we expect to happen on June 30th and beyond? June 30th is the deadline for illegal or undocumented migrants to leave the country, as per the demand of anti-illegal immigrant movements. As the countdown to the deadline continues and edges closer, there are legitimate fears that the situation could potentially get out of control and result in a repeat of the violence reminiscent of the 2021 riots. As many people focus on June 30th, it is worth considering what will happen between now and the November local government elections and potentially beyond. In other words, what are the chances that the noise of these anti-immigrant movements will die down and recede after 2026? Suffice it to say that as long as the majority of South Africans live in abject poverty with no sense of dignity, the hostility towards immigrants will persist. Similarly, as long as the governments of countries such as Malawi, Nigeria, Ghana, and Zimbabwe fail to deliver on the promise of a better life in post-colonial Africa, immigrants will keep flocking to South Africa. As President Cyril Ramaphosa reminded us when he addressed the nation on the immigration issue, no civilian is permitted to demand to see foreigners' immigration status. This begs the question, how will supporters of anti-illegal immigrants be able to tell a legal immigrant from an illegal immigrant? It is not only foreigners, both those here legally and those here illegally, who are panicking, scared, and anxious about the looming June 30th deadline and its aftermath. Even business people, both South African and immigrant, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, are bracing themselves. The reason is simple. The state, particularly its law enforcement agencies, appears consistently ill-equipped or unwilling to deal with lawbreakers and mayhem. As the head of state and government, Ramaphosa has failed spectacularly and dismally to provide much-needed leadership amid the anti-illegal migration crisis and the fallout from it. Now we have the benefit of hindsight in 2026. The embattled Ramaphosa has presided over a weak, incompetent, and corruptible criminal justice system. Had LT General Mkhwanotsi not exposed the shenanigans within the law enforcement agencies, we would still believe that we have a credible and functional police force. Acting Police Minister Phawos Kokelia has reassured South Africans and immigrant communities that the South African Police Service, SAPS, will be on high alert and ready to deal with any acts of incitement, harassment, criminality, vandalism, and looting on June 30th. But what about now and beyond the June 30th deadline? While one is tempted to believe Kokelia, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has, however, helped to lay bare what is ailing our post-apartheid state, in general, and our criminal justice system, in particular. Since there appears to be an absence of accountability in the country, ordinary citizens are emboldened to keep trying their luck, especially when they see elected representatives get away with wrongdoing and corruption. As we saw in 2021, thousands of South Africans went on the rampage as they looted and destroyed property, mainly in KZN and Gauteng. If comments South Africans are making on social media and the mood on the ground are anything to go by, one has every reason to be worried and concerned about the outbreak of brazen lawlessness and violence. It does not help that Ramaphosa and the entire GNU appear incapacitated, incapable, and out of touch with their handling of the situation, judging from their reactive rather than proactive engagement. Already, a number of foreign-owned barbershops, salons, and spaza shops around Durban have been forced to shut down. This, after thousands of foreigners who live in flats have also been forced to vacate, which explains why so many find themselves homeless and sleeping outside the Home Affairs offices on Che Guevara Road, formerly Moore Road. In 2021, South Africans witnessed the violence we had not seen since the days of apartheid. More than 300 people lost their lives in a few days, and millions lost their livelihoods and jobs as protesters looted business premises in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng provinces. For 4 full days, lawlessness reigned as the law enforcement agencies literally went AWOL and allowed protesters to wreak havoc. Since the anti-immigrant movements, March and Dugela, intensified their campaigns to force illegal immigrants out of the country, we have seen increased cases of hostility and violence towards foreigners, particularly from African countries, thus resulting in the term Afrophobia. The leader of March, Jacinta Mondlobis Zuma, has accused illegal foreigners of playing the victim card and taking advantage of South Africa's weak criminal justice system. It remains to be seen what will transpire on June 30th and beyond. The ball is in Ramaphosa's court to provide leadership as anxious South Africans and nervous immigrant communities hold their breath. Thanks for watching. Please let us know your thoughts on the comment section and kindly like, share and subscribe.